Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany Hansen, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make my Paige beanie. I named it after my sister, who is both beautiful and a little bit complicated, but don't worry, follow along with me and you'll be able to make this beautiful beanie all by yourself. Let's go.
The materials that you're going to need for the Paige beanie are a size 4 weighted yarn. I honestly prefer Vanna's Choice, or I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. Those are my two favorite yarns to make this beanie in. They just hold the form the best. The yarn is the right size and it feels so comfortable to wear. If you're doing Vanna's Choice, you're going to want more than one skein because it takes just over one skein. But if you do Hobby Lobbies, I love this yarn, one skein will do just great. You're going to want a size H hook to work with, 5.00 millimeter, pair of scissors, your fabric glue, of course, to close, and I'm going to show you how to make a pom-pom at the end of the video to finish off the entire beanie. And when I make pom-poms, I usually use this really cool little tool. All right, the beanie that we're going to make today will fit a teen or an adult sized head. If the teen or adult has a larger than normal size head or their hair is full of volume, I will be able to show you how to increase the size in the notes section below, or you can ask in the comments and I will absolutely reply. If you want this size for a child, I can do that too. Just ask me in the comments below and I will get that hookup to you. No problem. To start this beanie, we're going to start with the brim, the bottom part of the beanie closest to the face. So I just did a slip knot. I'm going to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to single crochet in the second hook, or second chain from the hook, and then in each chain across. So a total of 8 single crochets. 1, 2, and if you're new and don't know me quite yet, I like to put my hook with 2 loops on the top and 1 on the bottom. Right there. So 3. I do that 4 because when we set up for other stitches, such as a front loop only or a back loop only, it's important to have those 2 chains on the top. So why not just start that from the very beginning? 7 and 8. Okay, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and just like I just said, in this row, we're going to single crochet in the back loop only. So if you look at the top of your work, where you can see all those beautiful V's, I'm going to insert my crochet hook in the middle of the V and in the back loop only. If I look from this way, there's my back loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. There's my first single crochet back loop only. So do that all the way across. All right, great. You should have 8 single crochets. If you want to count, make sure you just count all your V's to make sure there's 8. Chain 1, turn your work, and you'll see that there's like this little peak now. In this side, you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to single crochet in the back loop only. So looking at your work, we only want that back loop. Pull through, yarn over, pull through, and you're going to do this across the entire row. And chain 1. You will notice many times throughout this whole video that I'm going to have to speed up a process. I'm going to try to teach you the stitches Make sure that you are in a comfortable spot, and then I'm going to speed up the process because a beanie will take me about an hour and a half to make, and I'm sure you don't want to sit through an hour and a half long video. So to count how many stitches you've done, so how many rows that you have done, you'll start to notice that it's like peaking here. There's a peak here. Each time it peaks, it's 2 rows. So here I would have 2 and then 3. So I just finished my 3rd row. I'm going to go into my 4th, chained 1 to go to my next row, and inserting back loop only. You're going to do 62 rows of back loop only, single crochet. And then you're going to stop and you're going to meet me there, okay? So let me go ahead and finish this row so I can make sure that you see how to count those rows. That way we make sure we stop at the exact same spot. Okay, into that row. See how there's 2 like peaks right there? Look at the sides. So this would be 2 and 4. So I just finished row 4. All right, so keep going all the way up until you hit row 62. I'm counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, I'll meet you at row 62. All right, we have finished 62 rows, and it's a bit long, but just so we're on the same page, see all those little peaks? Aren't they beautiful? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 62, 62. Okay, now what we do is we chain 1, turn our work, and we are going to take this end and that end, and we're going to align them up. So line them up. This one should have the little tail on that side, and we're going to be crocheting to it. We look at the top of where we're still connected. Look at the V's. We're going to slip stitch these 2 together across. So I'm going to insert this hole with both loops on top. I'm going to insert in the first little chain, where it's just going to be one yarn. Going to yarn over and pull through that, and pull through that. All right, let's do that again. So yarn or hook through with 2 loops on top. Going to the next space over on this one. Yarn over, pull through that, and pull through that. Okay, do that all the way across. And pull through everything. Great, we have made it to the end, and now we are going to lay our work like this, and we're going to work along the side edge. We are now going to work on the body part of the beanie. Move my hook this way so I can now be ready for my work. I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to lay the tail flat on the work so I can crochet over it and make it disappear. I'm going to double crochet in each hole across for a total of 62 double crochets. And I say 62 because we know that there were 62 rows, right? So we know that the number of stitches that we crochet along this brim needs to be the same number as how many rows were on the brim was made up of. So if you're curious which one of these many holes to insert your crochet hook, let me help you out. So grabbing that tail, laying it flat on the work. Between each peak is 2 rows. So you're going to put 2 stitches, 1 stitch here, 1 stitch there, between the 2 peaks, okay? So that's kind of a little trick, a little hint. Yarn over, insert my crochet hook right there, yarn over, and then the double crochet is yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Okay, yarn over, keep my tail against my work, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now I have my 2 double crochets between my peaks. Perfect. So keep doing that, putting 2 double crochets, so lining up 1 here and then 1 there between each peak. And I'll meet you at the end. And if you lose count, just count 1, 2, all the way over. You should end with 62. Great, we've made it all the way across. And now we're going to slip stitch in the 1, 2, 3rd little chain, or the very top of that first double crochet. Boom, right there. Okay, yarn over, pull through, and that closes it up. In this beanie, we're going to chain 1, and then I'm going to have you turn, and if you want, you can turn the beanie inside out to make it a little more comfortable. And now you should be looking at the inside. This would be the inside of the beanie looking out. Okay, we're going to single crochet in the back loop only of every stitch. So there'll be a total of 62 single crochet back loops only, all the way across. So there's my V, insert my hook in the V, and I only want the back one. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. There's 1. Great, we've made it to the end. Make sure you watch your counting, because if you notice, I'm not putting a single crochet in that space right there, because that was my slip stitch from the last row. So make sure you count and that you only did 62 single crochet back loop only. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook in that first stitch of that row with 2 loops on top. See? Yarn over, pull through, and pull all the way through for a slip stitch. Chain 1, turn your work back around, flip everything back. Now you're looking at the outside of the beanie, looking in. So this was the front of the beanie. Take this row, kind of flip it over, and if you flip it over, you might notice, let me make sure that you see this. Okay, so take this row that's kind of sticking out now, fold it over, and you'll see these single crochets that would have been the front loop that we skipped from before. They're left behind from the row before. See how these stick out? I want to bend that forward, and I want to look at that guy right there. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. It's just a normal single crochet. Third, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. All right, I made it all the way to the end, counted to 62, and I'm ready to slip stitch to close the row. Look at this chain right there, that stitch right here, That's the first one in this row. So I will yarn over, pull through, and pull all the way through to slip stitch it closed. What you should see now is a little layer, which adds so much definition. It's like the 3D pop that is super cool. Okay, we're going to do this again because I want 2 of those. So I chain 1, turn, flip my work inside out. So now I'm looking at the inside of the beanie again. And I am going to single crochet in the back loop only of each stitch. So looking at the top, inserting my hook right there, back loop only. All the way across for a total of 62. Okay, finished this row. We're ready to close the row. Insert your single crochet right there. Slip stitch it, chain 1, turn. Now we're looking at the work from the outside in. Going to fold that row just like we did before, finding the stitch, the front stitch that we skipped in the last row, and we're going to single crochet in all of those, folding that row we just finished down. So make sure you count, and you should have a total of, again, 62. So all right, we finished the row. So we will close it by inserting our crochet hook in that first chain, yarning over, and slip stitch to close. Awesome. Okay, this next row, we're going to stay on this side of the work. We're not turning and flipping. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to double crochet in each stitch across. So a total of 62 double crochets. So right there. 1, 2, 3. All right, we just finished that row. Look at it take shape. It looks so pretty already. Go ahead and slip stitch in the top of that first double crochet. Yarn over, pull through, and pull all the way through to close that up. I'm going to chain 2. And now we're going to do something called a front loop double crochet. So if you've never done this before, don't worry, just follow along. You'll yarn over. So that first loop, you'll go in the side of it, behind it, and kind of pull it forward. Yarn over, pull that back through, and then do your double crochet. We're going to do that all the way across. So next one, pop that one through. There you go. And that's 2. Okay, then yarn over, go behind it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, there we go. And it starts to form this where it just kind of pops it out. It's like a longer version. That's a really cool texture design. So just continue doing this all the way around this row. All right, we just finished that row, and look how pretty that is. It's like these elongated strands. It's very pretty. So I'm going to slip stitch in that first one, to top of that first one, to close, chain 1, and now we're going to do another one of these things. So turn, flip this inside out. All right, looking at the tops of our work again, we're going to single crochet back loops only in each stitch across. Okay, Okay, just finished that row. Slip stitch to close, chain 1, turning, flip it all the right way. Okay, this row we just finished. We're folding it over and we're going to single crochet in that one skipped loop from the row before. All right, now we have this whole section kind of bordered off and it looks really cool. So let's go ahead and close here. So my first single crochet was right there. Chain 1, and you're going to keep going. We're not turning our work here. We're going to keep going, and we're going to single crochet in each one of these with both loops. So just right in that hole, the 2 loops on top, yarn over, pull through, single crochet. 1 single crochet in each space all the way to the end. We're going to do this for a total of 3 rows. Okay, I just finished my 3rd row and I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch to close, chain 1, and I'm going to do 1 more single crochet row. I forgot in this right here there's actually 4 because my first one was just the one that satisfied popping this section out. So go ahead and do 1 more quick row, 1 single crochet in each one across, including the one that you just slip stitched into, for a total of 62. Okay, so 1. Perfect. We're just gonna slip stitch to close that row, and we're gonna move right into the diamond shaped pattern. It's the most complicated part of this beanie, so I'm definitely going to make sure that I spend some time making sure that you are comfortable with it. Going to chain 1, going to wrap the yarn around 3 times. So then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on your hook. It's called a treble crochet. Look at your work right here. This is where we slip stitch to kind of close each row, right? Push this down and you'll see these holes. 1, 2. I'm going to bring my hook down. Okay. I'm going to go behind that loop this side, so that stitch is now in front of my hook. Yarn over, pull through. Now I have 5 loops on my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through the first 2. So 1, 2, and stop. Okay, yarn over, pull through 2, 1, 2, and stop. I'm making a V shape, so I want to keep these ones on my hook. So keeping 3 loops on my hook, I'm going to yarn over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to count 4 spaces. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. See that? So 1, see holes. So 1, then this guy is 2, and 3, and this guy's 4. And on that 4th one, let's make some room for him. I'm going to go through this side, the hole before him, go behind him, yarn over, pull that through, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through the next 2, 1, 2, and then to close, to make this a V, I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of those left on the hook. squish them all together, pull that through so it forms that V shape. Okay, it's falling away from my work, so I crochet, single crochet in this, skip the first one, go in the second one. Okay, that way it lays flat. If you're ever curious where to put your single crochet, lay the work flat and then see where it lines up. And this one lines up right here, and that is 1 second space. Okay, yarn over and pull through, single crochet that. Great, you've made your first V. And if that didn't make any sense, feel free to pause, rewind, watch that again and again. This is the most complicated part of the whole beanie, so I want to make sure you get it right. Okay, so we're going to single crochet in 4 spaces. So that was 1. The attaching single crochet was 1. Then 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to make our next V. 1, 2, 3, having 4 loops on your hook. We're going to reconnect in the space right next to where this one was. So make some room so we can stretch. Insert your hook in that space. Go around the back, yarn over, pull through that space. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2, leave those 3 on your hook. And now we're going to do the next one. So 1, 2, 3 wraps. Push those to make some room. We're going to count 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, or the bars, 4. So got 1 guy, 2 guy, 3 guy. So 4. Going to go in the front, wrap behind hip. Yarn over, pull through. Okay, yarn over, pull through the first 2. Yarn over, pull through the second 2. And then these guys are the ones to bunch it and close. So yarn over and pull through all of them to bunch them and close them in that V shape. Okay, and then we're going to attach the work. So I lay it flat. Wants to attach right there. Yarn over, and that is our first single crochet. I'm going to do 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see from up here.
All right, so I finished that row. I'm about to slip stitch, so going in there. Pulling through to close. Okay, so we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do 3 rows of single crochets just like we did before, because that is your backdrop that we lay our V's on. But the first row of single crochets after you do a V-shaped pattern, there might be an interesting number of spaces, something might be off. So it's always very smart to count. If in doubt, always count. That will save your work every time. So there should still be 62 stitches across. If you have more than 62, you can decrease somewhere just to keep count. If you have less than 62, I would go in one of those peaks and increase somewhere, because that is probably where you lost your stitch, is when you laid the top down and single crocheted it in. You may have missed a space there. If you need more, then make sure that number 62, slip stitch to close, chain 1, and continue across for 2 more rows of single crochets only in each space. Great job. Now we are all set up to do our second row of the V shape to close it up, and it'll start to look like a diamond or a box. You'll see. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet in the next 2 spaces. Let's go 3 spaces. I like to be slightly in front of the top peak of the V shape below. Okay, we're going to yarn over 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. You're going to insert your crochet hook at the top of that peak right there. Okay. Pull that through. Then 1, 2, and stop. Then we're going to yarn over 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. Go to the top of this peak. Okay, and then go 2, and then the next 2, and then all of the rest on the hook to close. And it forms that diamond shape. Pretty cool. Okay, and then it lays flat right here. Okay, and we're going to single crochet in the next 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sets us up right in front of that peak. Yarn over 3 times. Okay, in that same hole as the last one. So 1, 2, and then stop. Yarn over 3 times. Go to the peak of this next one. Then 2, and then 2. Then yarn over and close them all together. And it lays flat right there. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we just closed or finished where I reattached to that very first pyramid from the very beginning, and I am going to slip stitch in the first space right there to close that row. All right, so you chain 1, single crochet in that first space that we just slip stitched in, and we're going to single crochet across this entire row. Remember to count, because this is the row that's going to mess you up. This is the row that we need to make sure has 62 stitches in it, okay? If you find that you have less, go ahead and just increase in a space that has the peak of the V, because that's probably where you lost your stitch. If you have too many, I would also decrease at the top of a peak. It's a great place for you to do your increase or your decrease. Okay, so go ahead and single crochet across this row. Make sure there's 62. And then go ahead and single crochet in the next 2 rows above this. So you'll have 3 rows of single crochet only. And then I will meet you at the end of that 3rd row. Okay? Sweet. I'll see you then. Great. We have finished 3 rows above the last V pattern, and now we're going to do the V pattern one last time. So right where we're at, we're perfectly set up. I've already chained 1. We're going to yarn over 3 times. 3. Scooch that down. Go to the peak of this last one. Yarn over. Yarn over 1 and 2 and stop. Okay, yarn over 1, 2, 3. Peak of the next one. There we go. And the yarn wants to seem to separate. Okay, and then last one would just be to close this all up. All right, you guys, good job. We just finished the last of this section, so you don't have to do that anymore. You're good. Well, it looks beautiful. I am really excited. I hope you are too. We're going to go on to the next row, which is just another one of these divider thingies. So you chain 1, turn, and again we can pop our work inside out if it's easier. I think it's easier, but it's up to you. Okay, on that top of the row, find your V's. And we're going to single crochet in the back loop only of each space across. Now again, we just finished this V pattern, so that means that we're going to need to count to make sure we don't skip anything or that we have that right number of stitches. We still want 62 stitches all the way across, okay? So make sure you count. It is so important. So we've got 1. Then insert back loop only, 2. Okay, great. We have finished 62 spaces. We're going to slip stitch to close. We're going to chain 2, turn our work inside right. And now we're going to fold down that flap like we did before, revealing to us that front loop that we are now going to crochet into. But we are going to do a double crochet decrease in this section. So we're going to start with yarning over, inserting our hook into that first front loop, yarn over, and pull through, yarn over, pull through just the first 2, okay, yarn over again, and insert our hook into the second space, right there, yarn over, pull through first 2, and now we pull through the last 3, and that is a double crochet decrease. Double crochet, so 1 double crochet in the next 5 spaces. Okay, so yarn over, insert, yarn over, 1, 2, yarn over, 1, 2, and 5. Then a double crochet decrease, so do just that, yarn over again, insert hook into the next space, yarn over again, 2, and then yarn over and all 3. Okay, and then the pattern is going to be 5 double crochets and then a double crochet decrease. Perfect. I've already gone ahead and slip stitched this row closed, chaining 2. Now we're going to do a decrease double crochet in these 2 spaces, and we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 4. And that's the pattern for this row. Okay, at the end of this row, where it was decrease and then 4 double crochets, I had 1 space left over, and that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and just put 1 double crochet in that last space, no big deal. Go ahead and slip stitch these together, close that row off, chain 2, and we'll move right into the next row, which is decrease double crochet and then 3 double crochets. And that's the new pattern. Double crochet, decrease, decrease, and then 3 double crochets. All right, this row did the same thing to me where I had 1 extra space. So go ahead and just double crochet in that last space, slip stitch to close, chain 2. Okay, this row is going to be a decrease double crochet and then 2 double crochets. Decrease, 1, 1, decrease, 1, 1, all the way across. As I'm sure you've probably already guessed, in this row there's a space left over. Go ahead and just double crochet in that last space, slip stitch to close, chain 2. In this row it's double crochet, decrease, and then 1 double crochet decrease, and 1 double crochet. That is the pattern. So go ahead and finish this row. Like you've probably noticed, it's decreasing quite a bit now. Double crochet in that last space. Go ahead and slip stitch to close, chain 2. And now we are going to decrease in every 2 spots. So it's going to be a yarn over. Go ahead and decrease. The next 2 spaces, another decrease. 2. Decrease. And you're just going to keep decreasing in every 2 spaces all the way around this beanie. Okay, go ahead and just do a double crochet in the last stitch. Slip stitch to close. But this time, if we look at the top of the beanie, we'll see there's a pretty big hole there still. And we don't want that. We want to close it up. So go ahead and take your scissors. Make yourself about a 6-inch long tail. Cut the yarn right there. Okay. Go ahead and take that working yarn. Yarn over, pull through, and pull tight, makes a knot. Okay, go ahead and turn the beanie inside out. Inside out, find the yarn, pull it through, take my crochet hook, insert it into the space, yarn over and pull through that one. Then from the other side, I'm going to go through the hole of the next space, grab that yarn, pull it through. I am weaving that tail, this is a tail, through the top loops. There we go. Okay, once you've woven your tail through all of those spaces, you pull it tight and it closes that hole up. It's gone. No more hole. Okay. Then I will come to the opposite side of where that yarn stopped. Go into the middle there. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, make it a knot. Okay, then you just grab your scissors. And that's all. If you want to really make it pretty, grab your glue, or not make it pretty, but make sure that that tail is not, that knot is not going to come undone, because that would be awful. If that knot came undone, then the whole thing would unravel, and that would just be really sad, especially after all the work that you just put in to making this beanie. Just lay that flat. Put some glue there, so even though that tail isn't flat, right where that knot is now completely sealed. So that knot will not come out. Well, great job. That is the entire body of the Paige Beanie. I hope you enjoyed my pattern that I put together. This is 100% my pattern. I am sharing it with you because I think it is beautiful, and I really hope that you enjoy it and it inspires you to crochet. We are now going to move on to how to make the puff ball. If you don't want to make a puff ball, you don't like them, stop. You're done. You just made the beanie. But here, let's go ahead and move on to making the puff ball, because the puff ball is actually a really cute addition to this piece. Okay? Okay, when making your puff ball, I like to make my puff ball with this tool that I bought off of Amazon. You can buy yours wherever you want to buy yours. I'm not going to be affiliated with anything one way or another. This is just a tool that I like the most. It makes the best puff balls, in my opinion, with all of the experience that I've had. So the fastest. So here is how you would use it. So I will take two ends and I will match them up, and then I will hold them together. I will pinch them together so that they don't move. I will take my yarn, and it's okay if you have a little bit of tail remaining. It really doesn't matter. But I will start wrapping this around the tail, so that way I can release and it's okay. Okay, so I line those up, and I just start going round and round. And sometimes I'll just make my way around the whole thing first, and then I'll double back. So you'll keep doing this until, if you look at the sides, see how thick the sides are? You want to keep going until the yarn color is covering up the sides there. So go ahead and keep going. Doesn't have to be in, you can like stay in one spot for a while and then move on to another spot and then move on to another spot, or you can just keep trying to layer it evenly. It really doesn't matter. You do whatever you need to fill up this section, just this section. Don't worry about anything else, okay? So I will go ahead and fast forward to when I am finished, and I will meet you when I am all done filling this section. You keep going. Meet me with your section filled also, okay? So, all right, so here is where I am at. And if you look at the sides straight on like that, you cannot see the sides anymore, which is what we're looking for. And I have made I rounded it off so that way my yarn is coming out the side here. You're going to close it just like that. And you're going to pull these down. You're just going to pull that string around like that and keep going. And now we're going to do the same thing but to this side. Okay, great. So keep going, and I will meet up with you when I have finished up this side, and hopefully you have also finished up this side. Cool. Okay, see you in a second. All right, I have now finished my side. I close that up. Perfect. Okay, now what you do is you go ahead and cut off that string, then If you see that there's like a separation right here between the two sides, same thing with this. There's that separation. You put your pair of scissors in there, kind of hold this down and push that. You want to hold it together. That way they don't like come apart while you're cutting. And then you just cut. Sometimes I have to start with a few on the top and work my way. Oh my goodness, that can give your hand a bit of a workout. So then you just continue on to this side. All right, we just finished. Great. Okay, so that is all revealed. That's all cut. I'm gonna set that to the side. I want the tail to be long enough where I can tie a knot around this puff ball twice to make sure it's secure, but then I can also attach it to the beanie. Roughly 7-8 inches long. Take your string, put it right through there. Continue around. Pull it tight. Just pull, 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 pull. You want to make sure that it went through the whole section. Okay. One knot. Do that again. One knot. If you want, you can even cut like 2 strings and then double it up so when you tie, it's even stronger. Pinch those together. Now watch this. This is the fun part. Move that. And move that. Pull those apart. And there's your puff ball. It's so fluffy. Perfect. Okay, so you might notice that some of the pieces are longer. So what I will do is I will go take my scissors and I'll inspect it. And I'll be like, this side is a little long, so trim that. Maybe look. Give it a little fluff, because if it looks long but then you move it around, it's not so long. Remember that there's your 2 strings. If anything falls out, that's fine. Your 2 long strings, I pinched them together so we would be able to identify them. These 2 strings are what we're going to use to tie the puff ball to the beanie. So we do not want to trim those. It'd be a common mistake. Okay. You also don't want to be too much of a perfectionist with this. Otherwise, you would keep trimming until there was not much of a puff ball left. It is people like them. Okay, cool. It looks pretty good to me. So what I will do now, move all this to the side. Grab my beanie. So right at the tip top, where we closed, slip stitched everything, we drawstringed it all together. So I'll put my hand in the inside, bring my crochet hook inside. Okay. So right there in the circle, one side of that little center, little strings, and one of them, I'll separate them, put through this end. I'll hold it from the inside. I'm pinching it from the inside. And then the other one, I'll want to insert my hook on the other side of that circle, grab the other string, pull it through. Okay, I pulled out my hook. I'm going to hold this still while I turn this inside out. And I have my 2 strings that I pulled through. Take them, I'm going to tie them together. If you were to have doubled up on these strings, it also just makes it stronger, a stronger hold. I'm going to do a 3rd knot because I like to make sure that it is going to be tight. Stay on there. Take my scissors, cut off my slack, grab my glue, and glue them down so that they don't move. Even grab this. It's kind of, I balled it together sort of, and hold it there. Just make sure that glue fuses everything together. That way nothing goes anywhere. Perfect. And turn it back the right way. And then we got our cute little puff ball on the top of our beautiful beanie. It looks fantastic. You did a great job. Kudos, man.
Look what we just made. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. These are my favorite beanies. They're my design. Let's make sure that it fits. Perfect. What do you think? I love this beanie. Like I said, I created this pattern and I just wanted to give it to you. That way you could have the ability to make this. I give them away as gifts. I sell them at my tables as a vendor. Every time I wear this beanie out, I get lots of compliments. I really hope you enjoyed making this beanie with me. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet and would like to, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I still have a lot more coming. Well, my name is Tiffany Hansen. Thank you so much for crocheting with me today. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye.